I'm a Bitcoiner. Period. Store value, 10 to 20 years, see where it's at.
I got money in from there's coins that I don't consider I'm a trader. I'm not a trader. I'm trying to be a trader. But I do hold other things that I feel confident to do well.
I think if Bitcoin, if the bankers could have killed it, it would have been dead a long time ago. So I don't think it's going anywhere, and I feel the same for Litecoin. And those are the only two that I really have.
I'm going to get started, I guess. If you haven't already, there's a sign-up sheet. I'm going to roll D20 dice on my phone. I don't actually have D20 dice for one of these. It's from 2017. It's it's called R1 LGC. Apparently, BitMain makes the larger miners. They decide they want to try like a little experiment with like home brewing stuff, or well, not really home brew, but like home use for people that you have like a miner in your home. This is like can be used as a cell phone charger, put your like Kindle on it or something. But back in the day, you used to like mine like 20 cents every day with this. Now you can still mine it. Litecoin's very it has very low transaction fees. So you can still mine it. It just takes a while. It's pretty much a good learning kit or learning tool. It's pretty much the same interface as that L3 over there, which is once you learn this, if you ever get one of those, it's pretty much the same thing. So sign up for it, and I'll roll dice at the end of the night. Let's get started. Actually, I'm learning a miner myself. We'll get to that later. Let's get to the presentation since I spent time on this, but it's not money compared to where it is right now. Mining presentation. All right. I'm James from VidYen. This is a cryptocurrency mining workshop, obviously, but we're going to be covering mining. VidYen, just to kind of give a reference, is actually an idea I had back in 2017 when YouTube was going through the demonetization crisis. People were just like, there were some people that obviously maybe should have been demonetized, but they were doing stuff like, demonetizing people's cat videos. Or they made a rule where you could only you had to make $1,000 a month and you get no money. And people like that. I like making 50 cents a month, even though it wasn't much. It was some progress. So I started working on a site that's kind of like a centralized alternative to YouTube, which is like a Reddit system where you upload. That didn't pan out. I kind of realized that maybe I could make this more for the user because the issue was you had to get everyone off YouTube and to get on the site to work on that. But the process I kind of developed like browser mining, which we'll cover later, but also personally I deal with, as a hobby, I do regular mining. So I guess we'll cover the overview. So pretty much there's a term, proof of work, and there's proof of stake. Pretty much everything you see here is proof of work. Proof of stake is more modern. I think Ethereum is switching to it where you actually have to own some of the coin before you get to mine it. I think, I guess Steam's probably the best idea, but I generally like the idea if you're experimenting, you don't have to invest in it. So proof of work is good for that. It's like, if you have the device or you have the software, you don't need to go to an exchange and buy some of the coins to start mining it. So different types of mining. You got your CPU, pretty much how Bitcoin started out back in 2009. First thing was mined on was CPU. There's mine. Got a little remote thing. CPU standard. So basically, but then they moved on to graphics cards because it turned out somebody was experimenting, I guess 2010-ish, beyond that. They realized, graphics cards are really good for parallel processors. So let's just mine Bitcoin on that. And then closer towards 2015, then ASIC started to be a thing, which is these things right here, where they're basically chips that are hard-coded, and you can make a bunch of them for cheap and cram it. If you ever watch one of those videos, there's like 4 boards here, and it's just like wall-to-wall of chips. So it's basically like you took like 20 desktops and crammed it into like little boxes, but they make it so it's power efficient. So that became a thing. And also pools are something we're also going to talk about. basically, people discovered as soon as like ASICs came along that originally when you crypto mine, you were just competing against everyone else on your own, computer. Your device was trying to, I think, actually do that next slide. But basically, you were competing against everyone else for the crypto, or the block, as they call it, trying to find it. And then pools came along and said, why don't we just like share hashes and then form like coalitions to, find the blocks. So that became a thing. And some pools actually do all three, where they can have CPUs, GPUs, like Bitmain is pretty much all that combined. So what we won't cover is buying, selling, exchanges, well, use cases. I mean, there's plenty of people out there who give presentations on that. We're not going to deep dive into the blockchain. Really, you can mine or get into mining without ever understanding how blockchains work. Literally, that part is actually way more complicated than there's computer repair and then there's software development. If you're familiar with building a computer, you can do this. If you need to know like code and security and everything else. That's a little bit more advanced. I'm not going to really cover that. So I believe anyone can get into mining. Well, anyone can get development, but it's easier to get into mining than it is to get into the deep level of blockchain. There are some videos I recommend. Andre Topoulos. Let's search for him on YouTube, and he can explain it better in human terms than I could. So, but if you're interested. So, basics to know, hash rate. Every device from my laptop to these ASICs to graphics cards, the lowest level of mining is the hash rate. Basically, hashes are the calculations. Basically, they have to discover a new block, which is the goal. The block is the ledger on the blockchain. We can go into a little bit more, but when you're doing transactions, they're formed blocks, and that's kind of like the official truth of what exists. But that's not just the blockchain; it's another term that you use. So basically, you're using hash rate. You're trying to use as much hash rate as possible to find the block. As soon as you find the block or discover it, and everybody confirms that the block is correct, then you get the crypto payout. So it starts out with hashes, the block, and then the block is basically the crypto payout. This is actually a screenshot for top level of Monero Ocean. So this is something like we would see on a pool. It's basically telling us what the current block effort, which if you're on a pool, that means how much they spent into it. Monero Ocean is spending way too much hash power to find that block, how many blocks they found, and what the miner per hash rate is. Usually that's what you'll see on any pool here. So let's say CPU mining. CPUs mining are in all devices, even their phone, desktop laptops, and they can be used to browser mine, which I'll cover later, more detail later. There's a nice variety. Now, GPU mining, originally often found in gaming desktops. I think back in 2017, when crypto was doing an all-time high, people were complaining about a GPU shortage, like you couldn't find them anywhere. I think Venezuela was confiscating them at the airport. So they were so popular, and you would make a lot of profit. The nice thing is that you can chain them together, whereas computers and CPUs, they make motherboards for more than one CPU, but they're rare and they're expensive. Whereas you just get like a riser, you can literally like chain like 20 of these together as long as you got the power supply. And all you need is one desktop, and you can just like wire it up. So ASIC mining, they're all often self-contained units. You don't need a computer. It is a computer. It's like all these things have like a little Linux device in it. You can actually, if you're familiar with Linux and what SSH is and terminal, you can actually, all these devices, you can actually pull up a terminal screen and log into it. There's like a mini embedded OS in there. It's very small, very, not much memory to mess around with, but it's there. So the main issue, they're the most power efficient, but they're the most noisy. And I'm going to take a second here. But the reason I don't have that plugged up, should have this ready to go. YouTube. Let's see all my videos there. And no, not S9. Bitmain S9. These things are, like, I had that thing in the basement. I had a 2-story house. It was in the basement, and I could, like, at night, I could hear it in the basement. So, it's generally, now that I'm in a small apartment, I generally I haven't turned it on. But they're making these new ones, and BitMain actually did that as well. Let's jump back to the presentation. There's a debate in the miners community about noise. It's like noise doesn't matter because people will build a shed. Questions?
I've seen somebody on the internet put those into some type of oil inside of a fish tank or something like that to keep them cool and reduce the noise. Is that even better?
Yeah, if you go on YouTube, there's like a ton of DIY kits. Unfortunately, BitMain, their intention is you buy these and put them in the warehouse. But there's like people that want these in their homes, so they get coolers, they dip it in oil, they have these muffler systems. I've seen some really stuff, and I've seen like videos of people building solar powered sheds so it's outside. So the main issue is the noise. BitMain did consider, they actually did have a thing called the R4, which is about yay big, which mined Bitcoin, but it used all heat sinks. However, they were buggy and they never updated them. You can still buy them on eBay for like $1,000, but they're terrible. So they did come out with these different models. This is the Antminer R3, which is the sequel to that. That does about 1 megahash. This does 10. Not great. I don't like it because when I bought it, it's supposed to also function as a clock. And the clock doesn't work. Never did. And I tried. Well, I almost returned it to the guy I bought off eBay, and I was like, it's mine, so I just don't care about the clock. So this mines 100 megahashes, and it's on. You can barely hear it over the fridge. We definitely know this. This does 500 megahashes. So this is, if you want to like raw power, that's what you get. But these things are actually nice because they're considering like, hey, hobbyists don't want to like go deaf just trying it out. And if I would choose it over again, I would have just waited till that came out instead of buying this.
This year, BitMain released the liquid cooled S9.
Right. Yeah, they did do that.
I didn't know ASICs were liquid cooled. I always
you could make them. But BitMain released.
I heard some bad reviews because they made it out of aluminum. And water coolers aren't supposed to be made out of aluminum. So a lot of people had leaked, like they got it and it was leaking everywhere. Some people got it work, but there is some, I don't know, I've seen like some ads for like a $10,000 super silent liquid cooled one, but I'm not going to spend it.
What's the hash rate on it?
I think it was claimed to be the most profitable in the world at the time. This was last year.
There's an ISIC list, ISIC profitability or something. You can see different ISICs and profitability for specific cost prices.
But
there's places to look that up.
I think you can get them custom made because I have a suspicion that this was a bunch of these they got fire sale and they just kind of DIY'd it. The FutureBit is actually a company in Brooklyn. They were originally like I think like an Xbox mod shop, and they just kind of like if I were to open it up, I'd bet money that they'd say BitMain chips on it because you can grab those on eBay for like $200 plus power supply. These things were worth $2,000 at one time in December of 2017. I actually got that one just because the power supply came with it for free, and I was like, all right, the power supply itself, if you buy it new, it's still $200, and you can still use them on the newer ones, but I don't know. BitMain's having issues right now. That's a whole other talk. They lost their IPO. Well, they decided not to do their IPO. I don't think it's necessarily the fault of Bitcoin, but a choice of theirs to like only take orders in Bitcoin Cash, which had issues. So they basically had all their money in something that valued. So they fired the CEO and Bitcoin Cash came. All right, so let's continue. The pools are pretty much the same. Already mentioned there's Litecoin pool. I was going to show you the actual miners and mining hashes, but the other downside of these that they don't have Wi-Fi built in. So I tried using this little Wi-Fi adapter. It worked as mirrors, but it's not working here, and I don't know why. So we can't really see this in action, but generally, it's pretty much you see numbers scroll by, and the thing, temperature is 60 Celsius or whatever, and you can see the lights. The lights are blinking, so I wonder why it's not. I don't know. The pool's not blinking, it's not connecting. But then there's AdPool, which is Bitmain stuff. Bitmain made me really angry at this because I thought this would be the same software as that, and they tied it in so you can only use the Bitmain pool. I did check back later, and when I updated firmware, it let me use any pool I wanted to, but apparently Bitmain was trying to be sneaky and just like lock you into their AdPool. So it's not that AdPool is terrible, it's just not. I don't like being locked in. Then there's Monero Ocean, which is Monero and Litecoin. Litecoinpool.org is also like a more, I'd say open Litecoin pool, but it's generally used in places to get on. So let's do a demonstration time, but I can't get into the thing. So if you later you just want to come over here, you can just kind of see the fan side. I guess I could plug this up and hear the noise comparison, and I think we can. Actually, I take that back. I think I can get to a Wi-Fi this, even though it's not going to be mine. This and this is actually they have Wi-Fi built in, but for whatever reason, Bitmain decided not to actually connect to the Wi-Fi. It's supposed to like you plug your modem into it, and then I don't know. It's weird on that part. Hold on a second. Actually, I don't know if that one's set yet. I think I would set that one. Keep in mind, whoever wins this, you might want to, there's a little pinhole in it, so you can set it like a routers. Otherwise, you'll probably be my wallet. But normally, like in the city, I turn the Wi-Fi on these off. I don't think anybody would know what it is, but I generally. I mean, the security is very lax right now. All sorts of technical difficulties. And I didn't ever pin this either. No, we can't do the interface. There's actually plenty of YouTube videos out there that kind of shows you how to get into it. But again, you're going to have to get an Ethernet cable and a router to your cable modem. I don't know why. I mean, there's actually a Wi-Fi connection adapter for the this, but they don't have the software for it yet. So it's in beta. And when I tried it at Mears, you can see the work, the other building, and it does not work. So, there's no cable. I do have a 100-foot cable, which I can run upstairs, I guess. That's fine. So let's talk about the other stuff, which is the browser mining, since we're all here, and I can advertise my stuff. How many of you are familiar with like CoinHive? Okay. Actually, I'm pretty sure I still have CoinHive on here. I don't like them anymore, so I just kind of like left the feature on. So back in the day, this is probably 2017 when I first heard about it. I really didn't redo that Java screen on the screen. So basically, back in 2017, I was reading, the internet news, and I saw this article about Pirate Bay. Users were going to Pirate Bay, I think it was October 2017 or so, and they were downloading, of course, they were pirating videos. I put a big warning on this because CoinHive's got a bad rap. So I didn't want people to think I was installing viruses on here. And I put a consent button because what they did, as soon as you went to the video page or whatever to download the, I guess the movie or whatever, you'd notice your battery was going really low if you had a laptop or you had a phone. And you do have to turn off ad blocker. I'm using Brave browser, so it does block point high. Like literally, I would need to do not. You don't want to go to website on your phone and you lose your battery. You have no idea why. So basically, that's what they're doing. I thought to myself, that's a terrible thing to do. To like use everyone's resources without telling them. But that means you don't need to install software. You don't need dedicated hardware, and it was easy to deploy. So this was one of the original ideas for, I don't know, there's a video of me giving a presentation back January, February 2018. I had a video site where you like do this and the point to like upload videos. I kind of scrapped that idea, but I kept this part. So here's point high. Hopefully they didn't ban my account. I used to actually talk to the devs regularly, and there was one day they would stop talking. So I was saying, you guys should really do something about this factor considered malware. And it's something like this. Even though they made some of their software require consent for this offline, they still were kind of like turning a blind eye to sites that were just, letting you install, I guess we could call it silent miner. You don't know that it's happening with these resources. And I think it's running right now. It's actually gotten slower, but that's actually because of narrow down to kind of what?
Are there any fairly well-known sites that still do that?
Salon, they still use one, but it's not the only one. Because they, if you have an ad blocker, they say, hey, we're still using ad blocker, why don't you use point high? Actually, UNICEF. All right. Well, basically, CoinHive is a tool. There's the other thing I don't like about CoinHive is you can't see their full stats. So you have no idea what they say they're taking 20%, which is still pretty high. But you don't know. They don't publicly. They just say this is how much Monero you're going to get. So basically, this idea, just mining. Actually, can I? I'm using Linux library. It may not be the best. And normally Windows would have all this weird thing, but basically I use mining about 40%, which is terrible, but there's a lot of times you just go to these sites and it's like 100% CPU if you're like in a potato computer. You have no idea what's happening, your computer locks up. It's actually, when I was testing this stuff, it's really easy to lock up your computer if you disable safety. The idea they would be, so I didn't like that because, I've been using ad blocker since apparently shows back on. And it's blocked. So the other thing is that when I first was testing it out at a friend, he really freaked out because they went to my site and said there was a virus on it. It's like, I swear it's not a virus. Because it can be used by viruses. So it doesn't actually put any code on the computer permanently. It just basically, while you're on the page, it's doing its stuff using the resources. You close it, it generally goes away. Now there are viruses that will install stuff on your computer, but generally a virus that is using browser mining is not as great because JavaScript is actually, let me go and switch to my other one. It's got better stats. So basically, when you're running through, like, with these things, like when the software is installed locally, like a graphics card, you're, how would you say, accessing the hardware directly, whereas if you're using a browser miner calling through JavaScript, you're actually going through like a live compiler. And JavaScript compiles on it's not like a, what they call an assembly language, it's basically like a, I can't remember the term. Just put it this way, it's not very efficient. And there's been some experiments out there to actually take JavaScript from the browser and go directly to your graphics card, but it doesn't really work well because it usually causes problems. generally, if you ask people to install software to mine cryptocurrency for you, they usually don't want to do that unless they get something out of it. So here's what I've done, and this is kind of like pretty much this is WordPress site. I've embedded a video. So let's say I've been demonetized, or these errors are actually not mine. They're actually the Brave browser blocking the YouTube ads. So pretty much you won't see any ads on this. But how are you going to still make money? Or, they're not paying me for the ads anyway because they show them because I've been demonetized. So I made a little player, I tied it in software, so I hit play. And in the console you can see it. That's my little bit, like explain what it's more like. VidYen itself is called the reward site, where you do activities, get points that you use to buy things, or items, or stuff on the store. Crypto is only part of that. You can actually use ad systems. This is what I'm trying to push out. So it's actually mine right now. I go to system. I put in the console. No one gets the social chain. Look at it. So it's mine 50%, and it's a little bit simpler. I can just power it down just a little bit. I can power it up. And it does rev up a little bit because it's actually talking to two different servers. It's actually talking to the website that I'm on, but it's also talking to the browser mining pool that I have. And it's actually, and then it's talking to Monero Ocean, which is a regular Monero pool. The cool thing about that is that, CoinHive, when they run their pool, you can't mine anything other than what you do to it. You can't do the stats. You're not like globally, not globally seen. So if you actually had like a GPU miner, you could actually mine the same wallet as this one. And actually, I'm going to pause it. And you actually see my laptop is 4 screens. So I'm going to turn it on. And then you can actually see there's two worker threads. I turn it off, and they go. So that's actually the miner itself. And it's mining hashes. Oh yeah, that's what I did. I forgot. In order to show you this, I need to turn on the fun mode. So I'm using WordPress because the other thing is that I forgot that I should just keep up. So WordPress is pretty much the most, outside of like the main sites like Google and Facebook, most everyone has a WordPress site if they have a website for their business, or actual business site, business.com. So I put it on here just because the deployment is a lot easier for people who don't know programming, because there's a lot of YouTubers, Twitch players, people out there who don't they know how to do stuff, but they don't know how to program. So the shortcode system, as you see here, you plug in your wallet. I guess can't really talk Monero wallet. So there's my wallet, the shortcode, the URL, the video. I have the two because sometimes people don't want the reward side. They don't care if the users actually get points. So I put both here so you can actually mine, users are, it's kind of like ads that, instead of ads, you're mining for the content creator while the video is playing, or you give something to the users, like you get tracked, like points, for mining. So let's go ahead and, so keep in mind, most of this I pulled from an open source. I think it was a stock miner with an MIT license, and that will probably get to show you some tools as well. Because, here we go. Now that I've got my wallet, I can show you the form. Let me make sure it's playing. Actually, I probably shouldn't open it on Brave, because another thing, if you're familiar with, if you're suspicious that your computer batteries start going low on your website, you have no idea why. Brave has a nice feature where it only allows mining in the active tab. Not many other browsers have started to take this into consideration because my stuff that you see was not blocked by Brave browser or antivirus or anything. So Linux doesn't, but I guess it's on Windows now. Mostly because I host the JS file locally and not off the third-party server. Also, I keep it on a consent screen. You didn't see a consent screen there because I actually used a plugin. I had a cookie they accept, like they accept cookies that they don't have to hit refresh or accept every time. They their cookies, and you have to go into the GDPR screen. Go to the Monero Ocean. Now this is an actual thing. Monero Ocean. And I forgot to turn my GPU monitor on. This is just a regular pool. And the nice thing about this, whereas CoinHive makes you give your email address, you have to put up an API, you have to go through that. These Monero pools, and there's another Monero. Actually, I just realized this I can show you because I know I have a connection to the computer. Remind me in a minute to show you a bit of what I totally forgot it was here. But go ahead. But this is an actual Monero pool. It's like the largest one.
So you're saying they only ask for your payment for your wallet address?
Yeah, you pretty much give them a wallet. They don't ask any other information other than that. So you can give them an email address if you so desire. If you want like notifications if your work, like your computer shuts off, or you can actually set a password to an email and change your minimum payout. Like by default, it's always going to pay you like 0.00. Basically, all it knows is your address, and there's still a default payout rate of 0.00. No, 0.03. I think it's like $3 in Monero. Currently, Monero is like $40, so there's like a really small default payout. So it doesn't need any information. You just say, well, I received, 200 million hashes from this thing saying I'm buying to the wallet. I'm just going to pay out to it whenever I reach that minimum threshold. And they generally do that also because they see that you're mining. It's like a one-way street where you're mining to the wallet. You say, this is my wallet. In Monero, you can generate as many, it could be like a workshop on Monero itself. You can generate as many wallets as you want at any time. With one SQL. Let's say you have one hardware wallet, you can generate as many sub-addresses as you want theoretically, and you still have privacy. So it pays it automatically, but I've signed up so I get my email, so I have an idea of the servers like online. This is like my test account where it's paid out a little bit. Really, I can put up that given the here's for yesterday, but now, if you are concerned about KYC, you post your XMR address that says mine. Somebody can post it right here. If you use it, beware of that. If you use the same donation address on your website as the one you mine to, people can look at that. So make sure if you are concerned about privacy or tax code, concerned about people knowing, make a different address from your public page than on a pool. And most pools for Monero are like this. There's actually one, that reminds me, this one actually does the same thing as for Bitcoin. It doesn't care about your email address. Whoever mines this address on the page, and it's looking for hashes and they come through. So, see what I got for workers. Yeah, this isn't a great slide. I don't think it's good. The only thing for the stats don't update is fast on the Monero page than what. The other thing is I have to hit refresh. Actually, I'm sure it's not. No, it's not this fairly. The only problem with it is you have to have it on the WordPress site. I actually used the YouTube has their own API, which is very useful. It's all in JS anyway. So I basically had it say, you hit the play button on YouTube, it stops the miner. And when you play it, starts it, when you stop it, or the video stops it, stops it. I also have a Twitch player. I don't have it like a screen, but I know exactly what it is. But generally, that's the other thing, is you use Twitch while the video is playing, you're mining Monero. But the thing about the WordPress site is that you can actually track by user. So if you are just doing a work site, you can actually have it mine, like you can have like a list of dedicated users and a leaderboard and all sorts of stuff to say, well, these are my Twitch users that mine much during the stream or something like that. So,
is there a lot of
I basically, to tell you the truth, I only did the Twitch because Ken asked. Ken knows I can't. I was doing this, and I haven't even got like, I only know like a few other users that use this yet. Unfortunately, I haven't done any advertising. I just know people out there that express interest. But like I said, my greatest weakness is documentation and advertising. But yeah, I'm actually talking to Ken tomorrow on the podcast. But he asked me if I could do Twitch, and I was going to show him. I was worried that Twitch didn't have an API. They do. Not as good as YouTube's, obviously, but there's a little easier way to tell when you're in the play button and stop. And there's also, if you don't have like a, let's say you don't have like, you're not a content creator, and you just like want people to mine for like, rewards. I'm in mobile mode, which I really like. I usually don't test this while in mobile because I generally warn people, it works, but, I kind of aim this more for gamers, but I'm sure this is my site. Anyone can install a plugin, use their own theme, their own content. This is just a standalone miner, which is pretty much, I don't know, this one's got a consent button on it. This is an older one, so I didn't actually put $50 in the button to read everything in consent. So people can say, hey, mining cryptocurrency on my computer without telling me, no, there's a button that you click it twice, and then you hit this twice. So far I've never been reported for having a virus, like selling virus. I think that's the key difference from Point Hive is when you turn it to the web page, you can mining cryptocurrency from a stranger, and you're not getting any rewards, or even acknowledgement you're doing it, where this, it's done away. And I'm going to go off topic, but kind of say, why would you do this if the hash rate is so low? Like, this is pre-hash. Well, first of all, the narrow hashes aren't comparable to Bitcoin hashes. And before I forget, I'm going to show you this. You can actually see Bitcoin mining in action. But on my laptop, I get 3 hashes. On my desktop gaming PC, I can get between 30 and 40, and sometimes 50 if I really want to push it. Don't want to do anything else while you're doing like all the way up.
That's just a view.
Yes. There's no graphics card for graphics. There's no software installed on the client side. Now, why would you do this so efficient? Well, these, even though they're more hyper efficient, this is not mining, and it's still using 50 watts. To get up to 100 watts, that can get up to 800 watts. So you're going to be paying a hefty electricity bill. Whereas this, you're just paying the server costs. If you kind of can scale this out, let's say you have like 1,000 or 10,000 users, you can get like, I mentioned 3 hashes here, so if you have like 10,000 users, you're making 30,000 hashes, which is pretty strong in the narrow world. So it's pretty much a matter of scale. I guess I need to partner with somebody or get more activity or advertising. I finally got a working product. This new interface is like 2 weeks old. Actually talking about like hash rate and direct communication with the narrow ocean. So if I had oh no, it actually does have a word. So I got 38 points I'm going to do. And what this actually made like a coin exchange. It's not really similar to a crypto exchange, but it's just like actually, I do have to say, it does have these points and like native cryptocurrencies. Right. I don't know. You do what you want. But he actually does. You can actually use it to pay out cryptocurrency to use the right extension. There's WordPress blogs out there that were with mini exchange. It's about doing much without much technical knowledge. And I was asked to do a tie-in with this plugin called -1, which you can pay out. Otherwise, you can do like WooCommerce credit, MyCred. There's all sorts of payout systems you can do. So I earn points and I trade them out, and I can buy stuff. Like I'm just selling my software on my store, which is for technically you're not going to be able to buy like $10 to pay for this, but I accept it. It's kind of like a coupon. Like you buy like $1 or whatever, watch it all the way. get like $1 off your Pro package, or if you want to buy the phone. This is a demonstration. So that's kind of the idea of browser mining, because unfortunately in bear markets, it's generally electricity costs are what kill people. You ever see this news about it? It's like pictures in China where they're just dumping those on the sites to be heat. Also, there was like a drought in China, and the hydroelectricity got really expensive, so all the big factories. I think there was in the States also went back to that. Anyone remember that name? It was kind of like something. What? It was the one that went bankrupt in the United States. It was like a bot. It was supposed to be like, I wouldn't say solar powered, but they had, supposed to have like really cheap electricity, but they couldn't afford to do right. So, I don't know, I feel like that's probably going to be the future, and with this, pretty much all you need is like a $3 a month WordPress site, and your user base, which I guess that costs money too, and I mean, if you already have a user base, you know, you're using video, which you have a hard time. What I say is your user base is money poor but time rich, or maybe hardware rich, that a lot of these gamers have good processors, that they would be willing to donate, or you have like, you know, you've ever seen the Twitch things, they actually don't give their followers anything, they just give like, I'll give you like a sticker, or like a reward, or a shout, like, someone just like, they pay donations just to get a shout out, which is, you know, it's kind of cool. It keeps the game, keeps everyone entertained, so I figured out that way to go, rather than either stealing hashes or focusing on the factory mining, that we can have like, you know, distributed among your users, and, you know, it's still the cost of running a computer, but, you know, you're going to be doing that anyway. There's games like Star Citizen, probably uses much power on a computer than mining does, because it's like moving intensive 4K. It's actually, Star Citizen would actually not run on my laptop. I used to run slow up on the one I have my desktop upstairs, but I installed an SSD. It actually runs okay. So I think that before we what?
I had a small question.
Sure.
Oh, it might be a dumb question, but I can't remember. The browser videos, do they use video card at all? Like, can browser use video card in any way?
Yes and no. There's actually Chrome, which is Brave and Chrome, pretty much. I think Firefox is attacking on too. Basically, there's GPU acceleration for the graphical interface, but JavaScript can't tie it. So the video, when you play the video, like the 3D graphics of the games, but anything that would be like mining, Lord knows people have tried. So,
what about a custom encoder? Like big for miner encoder.
You can go on Chrome Store and find extensions right now that will tie to the graphics card. But a lot of those are very sketchy. So I generally try to avoid like. I've heard so many horror stories about they went and installed Chrome browser miner or GPU mining extension, and they lost all their funds. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I had to.
Let's go and do this dice roll really quick since you're here.
Oh, sure, okay.
I don't think anyone else signed up, so everybody sign up?
Sign up.
Sure. So we got how many names? 5. 1 second. I'm gonna have to pause this video.